All right, I get it. You've been learning Chinese for a long time. Maybe 1 year, maybe 10, all right? You know grammar. You pass the tests. You memorize the words. And maybe you can even read in Chinese without pinyin. But when you talk to your friends, they still hear and think, yeah, foreigner. Is it because of your accent? Is it because you're white and colorful? Is it because you can't eat spicy food? Is it because you don't have a Chinese girlfriend? No. Let me give you the hard pill to swallow. You don't know Hood Chinese. And that's what we're going to learn today. Hood Chinese.
China.
Look, I speak English with an accent sometimes, but nobody ever doubts that I can speak English. Why? Because I use slang. I craft my words. I speak with manner. But when it comes to Chinese, it's not just about tones, you see. It's not just about grammar. It's always about the choice of words, which words you choose to use. And today, that's what we're going to learn. So first word we have, first the Hood Chinese we have is no cap. 1 second. Yeah, it's here. So how do you say no cap in Chinese? I see people use this word a lot in the English world, right? But how do you say it in Chinese? We say 真的, 真的. Or you can say 不骗你, 不骗你. Now I'm saying it a little slow so you can catch the tone correctly. But in a normal setting, right? In real life conversations, it could be something like 不骗你，我昨天真的没睡。Let me slow. 不骗你，我昨天真的没睡。So it's like, no cap, I didn't sleep yesterday. 不骗你，我昨天真的没睡。Or you can say, 真的，这家店太好吃了。真的，这家店太好吃了。So I think it's closer to for real than no cap, but you get it. Like you can use it, and it's definitely very native. And I don't hear foreigners use this word a lot, I guess. Sometimes you might also use it for 真的吗? Like a question. 真的吗? Is it real? Is it true? So next, 不骗你, it means I'm not lying to you, right? Literally it translates to I'm not lying to you. 不骗你, but it's more like a slang in Chinese because we say it a lot too. Like if I'm telling you some news that's so shocking, and I have to add that I'm not lying to you. For example, 不骗你，他已经走了. I'm not lying to you. No cap. He already left. Second is my favorite. It's you tripping. How do you say you tripping in Chinese? Something that's close to you're crazy, right? You're wilding, okay? You're wilding. So in Chinese, you can say 你疯了吧?你疯了吧? It literally translates to are you crazy? You're tripping, right? Or you can say 你在想啥?你在想啥呢?你在想啥? This one is probably more northern, right? People from the north might use it more. Or another variant, personally, I would choose, and actually we do it more often, is 你有病吧?你有病吧? It's kind of like, are you sick? Are you crazy? The same thing, right? Same thing, but it sounds much more native. But here another thing is, you have to understand when you're saying these words, when you're saying these phrases here, 你疯了吧?你有病吧? It can come off as a little rude if you're saying this to a total stranger, and even to your friends, right? Because it would sound impolite. So I highly recommend you to, just to understand the context before you're using this word. when you truly, because in Chinese, when you're calling someone, are you crazy? You might literally mean it. You might literally think that they're crazy. So it's not just like you're tripping, like in a joking way. So next we have I'm dead. Like something so funny. That's hilarious. I'm dead, right? How do you say I'm dead in Chinese? You can say 笑死我了, or you can say okay, I think 笑死我了 probably it's the better. Yeah, it's the better translation. Or you can just say 笑死了,笑死了, and it literally means it's so funny, I'm laughing to death. 笑死我了. Here, I don't know how to make an example because we don't really use this when it comes to everyday conversation. Like we don't orally say it. It's more like we're going to type. We text our friends such phrases more often. Like I'm sharing an interesting video and I'm saying 笑死我了, ha 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 ha. Like this is so funny. But we don't really say it because it just sounds strange when you're telling someone I'm laughing to death. It's like you're telling, it's like saying LOL in real life. You just don't do that. For example, you can say 他说的那句话我真的笑死。他说的那句话我真的笑死。Or, for example, 这个人太搞笑了，笑死我了，笑死我了。All right, here we go. Next, the fourth one we have is that's fire. That's fire. How do you say that's fire in Chinese? There are a lot of variants that you can use. Today we're going with 太牛了，太牛了。Too bull. I think the literal translation would be like that, but yeah, that doesn't make sense. But in Chinese, we use 牛 as something that's cool, that's very good, that's impressive, and we say 太牛了，太牛了. And you know, it's the same thing with that's fire. If you're speaking with your professor, you don't say stuff like this. It's just not correct. All right, but just with your friends, you can say 太牛了. Or you can say 绝了, 绝了. You'll hear young people in China use this word a lot. 绝了, 绝了. Like when you see something that's very impressive, you can say 你这想法绝了, 你这想法绝了. It's kind of like a little bit sarcastic when you say it. Like, yeah, it has a sarcastic tone to this word, 绝了. Or you can say 牛逼. 牛逼, but I personally don't choose this word at all because it sounds a little awful, and it just, the translation of this word, don't look it up, but yeah, young people use it a lot, especially teenagers, and I used it a lot when I was a teenager, but I don't want to use this word now. But if you like, you can learn this word too, and it's better for you to understand when people say it. You understand what they mean. When they say 牛逼, they mean that's fire. That's fire. All right. Next. Tweaking. Tweaking. I think this one's fun. You can say 不对劲. 不对劲. Or you can add a little sound to it, and it will be sounding like 不对劲儿. 这有点不对劲儿. Right? Do you hear the accent? So it's more like a Beijing accent. And people from the north use it more often, and people from the south would probably say 怪怪的, 怪怪的. And personally, I think I use 怪怪的 more often, and because I don't like to add the sound, I just do it. When I do it, it sounds a little unnatural, so I don't try to do it a lot. But I'll give you an example, and you can choose which one you like. For example, you can say 你今天有点不对劲. 你今天有点不对劲儿. You hear the difference? 你今天有点不对劲. Now I'm saying it a little faster. Today you're a little weird. All right? Today you're a little off. So that's the meaning. Or you can say 你刚才说话怪怪的. 你刚才说话怪怪的. You're speaking weirdly just now. Or you can use 不对劲 in this context here 这事儿感觉不太对劲。这事儿感觉不太对劲儿。I think 不太对劲儿 people really use it a lot now that I think about it. I think even in everyday speech you will hear it a lot. 不太对劲儿 especially people from Beijing, people from the north often say this. For example, you're tweaking. 你是不是有点不对劲儿？你是不是有点不对劲儿？ Well, here we go. Sixth, next one we have that's wild. That's wild. So that's crazy, right? And in Chinese, how do you say that? Well, we use 离谱,离谱. For example, 这也太离谱了吧？这也太离谱了吧？ I use this word a lot. It just means crazy, something that's otherworldly, that's unimaginable, right? That's crazy, that's wild. 离谱,太离谱了吧? Next translation, you can also use 太夸张了,太夸张了. For example, you can say 你听说了吗？昨天那件事儿太夸张了。So this one we use it. This one the literal translation would be too exaggerated. Like this thing is too exaggerated. It's almost impossible. It's crazy. It's wild. And another example would be for 离谱, you can also say 他居然这么说，太离谱了。他居然这么说，离谱，离谱。That's wild. Next we have say less. Say less. How do you say less? The better translation would be 行. 行. I think if you go to China or if you're talking to a Chinese person, you'll hear this a lot too because we use 行 more like okay, right? You don't hear Chinese people say, maybe we'll also say okay sometimes, depends on who you're talking to, but we say 行 a lot. It means okay, right? Or just like say less. For example, someone is calling you and telling you to come here right now, and you can say 行我马上来行我马上来 And I don't even know why we use 行 as okay, as alright, but we do say it. Or you can say 行不用说了行不用说了 For example, someone is telling you to do something, right? And you immediately understood the task. So you're just saying 行不用说了 Like say less. Stop it right there. Say less. I know what to do, right? 行不用说了 So 行 is say less. Now, next, the eighth one we have is sus. Something that's sketchy, suspicious. How do you say it in Chinese? Remember the word we just learned, 怪怪的, right? 怪怪的. If you remember, that also means weird, a little weird, strange. So here, for sus, you can also say 有点怪, 有点怪, a little weird. For example, you can say 他说的话有点怪他说的话有点怪 His words are a little sus. His words are a little strange, right? 他说的话有点怪 Or you can also translate it to 不太对不太对 So the literal translation of 不太对 maybe you guessed it, it's not right, right? When something is not right, it's a little suspicious. So we say it like that, 不太对这事儿有点不太对 Alright, next, you wilding. You wilding. How do you say it in Chinese? You wilding. So in Chinese, you can say 你过分了你过分了 For example, when your friend is trying to prank you or prank someone else and they're doing a little too much, right? You can say 你过分了你过分了 You're doing too much, right? Stop it. 你过分了 Or you can say 你有点夸张了你有点夸张了 It's more like for the context that someone is trying to pull off a joke, right? Pull off a personal joke on you. And in the beginning, it's just a joke, right? It's funny and everyone's laughing at it. But then he's going a little too personal. And now it's the tone is different. And you can say 你有点夸张了 Like you're being too exaggerated. Like now you're doing a little too much. You're wilding. You should stop it right there. So you can say 你有点 夸张了 You would hear people say it like this 你过分了啊你过分了啊 In the end we will add this sound You know, it's very Chinese thing. We add this 你过分了啊你过分了啊你有点太过分了啊I don't know where we do it, but when you're trying to speak Chinese and you add this little sound, that will make you sound a lot more native, right? 你过分了啊 Or you can say 你有点夸张了吧你有点夸张了吧 Remember the translation is 你有点夸张了 But here, when I say it, I say 你有点夸张了吧 It's the same thing with, maybe it's an accent thing, but just being native, right? You add this sound, you add this b sound, it just sounds more natural when you say it. 你有点太夸张了吧 Right? Do you feel the difference? Now, next example, 这反应是不是有点夸张这反应是不是有点夸张 And remember, before I say this, even without me noticing, right? I didn't notice myself, but I did this sound, right? That also makes you sound so much more native when you do it. 这是不是有点太夸张了 It's almost like you're trying to speak before you speak, and you're giving a signal to people around you, like, I'm being so serious right now. Are you ready for this? 你有点太夸张了吧 Like, listen to me. This is like you wilding. You're doing too much. All right. Next and last, we have is that ain't it. Ain't, right? The word ain't. How do you say it in
for
Chinese?
this word?
We don't
That would
actually
be
have the word be. 这不太行不太行 This is wrong, or this is not acceptable. 不太行 We use this more often in sentences like 我觉得不太行我觉得不行不行我觉得不行 I think it's not okay. I think it's not acceptable. We use this a lot too, right? 我觉得不太行 And more often, when you say this phrase 我觉得不太行 This is more like a joke, right? You're joking about it 我觉得不太行 Like, I don't think it's acceptable. For example, you can say 这个方案不太行这个方案不太行 This project is not okay, right? Here, the translation feel a little off, like I said, because in Chinese, we don't really have the word be. So there isn't a replacement in our Chinese hood slang. We don't really have such saying for like ain't, like this ain't right. Probably we would say 这不太行 I think, yeah, this translation this is the only way we use it. We don't really have other ways of saying this. That ain't it, right? 这不行这不可以不可以 I think this one is probably better. 这不可以 right? 可以 Do you know the word 可以 可以 means okay, acceptable, right? This is right off more native and more informal, and will make you sound more like a Chinese, I would say. So, all right. As always, please comment down below. Let me know what you want to learn next. And just a friendly reminder, before you throw these hood Chinese to your friends, just be careful, because some of them might be impolite, some of them might be offensive, especially if you're talking to a stranger, right? You just learned this, you just watched this video, you want to go to your friends, you want to talk to someone online, try to use these words. Just be careful, because you don't want to do this you don't want to speak these words to a total stranger, because that would just sound a little off. I have a lot of occasions like this. I've met a lot of people, talk to some foreigners online, and sometimes they try to be impressive, like they try to impress you that they speak Chinese, and when they type something that just 不太行, right? That's just too, they're wilding, you know what I mean? For example, when they say something like newbie, this is too much. Like, when native Chinese see words like this, we feel offended immediately, because it is too informal, right? And also, this is like a cursing, and people don't like that, right? So before you're trying to use these words in your everyday speech, just be mindful about who you're talking to, and the right timing is very important. All right, I guess I'll see you in the next one.